And joining us for the very first time, we have some very special guests. You know them from their work on, about a zillion different things, including but not limited to Darkwing Duck, Buzz Lightyear Star Command, Kim Possible, The Penguins of Madagascar, and LEGO Star Wars The Freemaker Adventures. But you probably best know them now as the Emmy Award-winning co-creators of a little show called The Ghost and Molly McGee. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Motz and Bob Roth.
Hello! Thank you for having us, guys.
We are so excited to have you guys on. Bob can be found on @AutomaticGravy on Twitter. Bill could formerly be found on Inevitably Bill, but
right now,
some unfortunate things have happened.
Oh my gosh, what a couple of...
Apparently they hacked Ariel Hirsch's account too. I'm like, what is it with people who are Disney television animation adjacent getting hacked by crypto bros? It's so weird.
Yeah.
So we're here today to talk about the season 1 finale of The Ghost and Molly McGee. The jig is up / Molly versus the Ghost World. But of course, we're also going to talk about the show in general and what's to come in season 2. One of my favorite lines is Scratch misses the ribbon kind of at the factory, and he's like,
"Did I miss it? Oh man, I love outrageously oversized scissors. They're so impractical."
I mean, they are. They're great.
Yeah, they're great. I love it. And I love the bit with the trial where we get callbacks to previous episodes. Probably my favorite from that one is Howling Harriet.
Ooh. Thank you, Howling Harriet. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Are we all just pretending we understood that?
Enough! She and Scratch both stand up to the Ghost Council. Jeff gets thrown into the flow because he was captured earlier for helping Molly. And I love the look that Molly gives Scratch. I've noticed this on my rewatch like just now before we started recording. I love the look that Molly gives Scratch after Jeff gets thrown into the flow and he says,
"How dare you throw my friend into the flow of failed phantoms? Although if it was between him and me, you certainly made the right choice."
And Molly's just like, really? I hadn't really noticed that before. Like, I'm like,
there's
like,
limits to Scratch's
oh yeah,
heroism and
Scratch has grown a lot, but he's still Scratch.
Yeah, there's still room for improvement.
Quite possibly my favorite villain defeat ever. Molly literally kills the chairman with kindness. She boops him to death.
Don't tell me that being friends with a ghost is wrong. You're wrong!
That's right.
I'm just thinking of like the end of Phantasmic, like if Mickey just went up to Maleficent's nose and just went boop.
You may think you're so powerful. Well, this is my dream.
Yes.
It's great. I
A
love
year
it.
from now at Disneyland, that's exactly how that works.
Yes.
See in your mind, and you will find in your imagination.
You mentioned the whole part about like, Molly jumps through the thing and then she becomes, the Wraith and then the, weird husk body. It's like, having worked on Magiswords and having to deal with things like the network notes we get back and things we have to change. It's like I love watching shows and I'll be like, that was a network note, wasn't it? So I was just kind of like wondering, was that was something that struck me as like somebody said, well, her body can't just be like dead. You have to say that the body's okay somehow.
I don't think that was a network note. Like,
I think it actually came from the comedy we thought you could.
Yeah, we thought there's some comedy to be had. And again, I don't want to spoil too much, but you're going to
What's Molly like without her spirit?
So, would you like to, do something?
Not really.
Okay.
That.
And you'll see more of it in
Husk.
season 2. We don't want to separate Molly from her body that often, but occasionally we want to see it, and when we see it, you get some fun out of it.
Yeah, and I know things, every studio is different, and even every show within each studio is different, with rules and BS and P and stuff. But like, there are a lot of shows, like just the whole notion of addressing the concept of death itself seems to be like an issue with some shows. Like they won't let characters, use the word like kill or murder. So that's why a lot of villains are like, I will destroy you, because you can say destroy. We're allowed to say destroy, So were there any issues like that, or did they all just kind of accept like, well, this premise is about the netherworld, the afterlife, so they weren't gonna worry about it so much?
Yes and no.
I believe the preferred term is post-living person.
Yeah. Thank you for that callback. The yes and no. There's a moment in the first Kenny Star episode written by Paul Chang, where Molly brings out her big board of craziness she found.
I love that one.
Scratch looks at it and goes,
we're going to murder him.
What? No!
Master Shake is iconic, right? Like,
yeah,
that started Dana's career. He's always going to be remembered for Master Shake. But I think Scratch himself is actually closer to the real Dana than Shake is. Like, Shake has not a kind bone in his body.
Right.
And Scratch is a reluctant softy.
Yes.
And that is Dana. Like, you get to know Dana. He is he's
so
such
kind and sweet, and
he's a sweet guy. He's a gigantic Disney fan.
I was just gonna say, I was like, oh, he's a huge Epcot fan. I love that.
Yeah, he's not just a huge Epcot fan. He's been
huge Disney parks fan.
Every Disney park around the world multiple times.
So cool. Love that.
Just a good guy.
On the note of Disney parks, so I'm also a huge Disney park nerd. I mean, I work at the Emporium at Magic Kingdom, actually.
That's super cool.
I was there just yesterday.
Yeah, you were there.
No, Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Florida. No, I was at Disneyland like a week ago, and I saw that you guys were giving out posters. I'm like, man, I need to plan these trips around cons that are happening. But anyways, that's all right. I mean, I did get a postcard from you guys, so that was cool. And one of the first things that happened when the show came out was, of course, the super fun Molly McGee's Haunted Mansion chibi short, as well as a few other Haunted Mansion references in Home is Where the Haunt Is. There's also one I caught in the season 2 premiere, which we got to preview.
Well, we moved from upstate New York. Just finished a big cross-country road trip. We went to Gettysburg to see the battlefield, Salem, the Alamo in San Antonio, this creepy lighthouse in Florida, the site of the Chicago fire, and a haunted mansion in New Orleans.
And there's an upcoming episode in season 2 where Molly has to try and create a fun family staycation after their vacation gets canceled. Yes. So I want to know, what is Molly McGee's favorite Disneyland attraction?
Ooh, good question. Is it Small World?
I was leaning Small World. I know what Scratch's favorite is. It's the sourdough bread bakery at DCA, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
I'm just dreaming of dough.
About a sweet potato.
No, I would rather turn flour into fresh sourdough instead. Because I just want to eat bread.
Small World, I think she'd really love Mission Breakout.
Yeah, I think Mission Breakout would be a good one for her. Scratch is just any churro cart. Wherever there's
any churro cart,
that's where you're gonna find
the sourdough bread, the beignets, just all the food, of the food.
Exactly. That's he thinks that is the theme park.
My favorite detail, I think, the very small blink and you'll miss it detail in the Molly McGee Haunted Mansion chibi short is that while they're on the porch, Scratch has a pineapple float. I love that. I love that so much. It's great.
I'm still stuck on what's Molly's favorite.
I mean, Small World, she loves the idea of the harmony and everyone.
Of course.
I think, for sure. Yeah. But even she would find that melody gets a little.
It gets a little, yeah.
Please don't. I can still hear it in my sleep.
That's part of what I love about Molly is she is an optimist and she's so kind and happy to a point.
Yeah,
even she has her limits.
Yep.
That ball's going right to Libby. You got it, girl! Nope, I can't put a positive spin on it. They're terrible.
And
she's not unrealistic.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, she would love Space Mountain just because she does love some kind of thrill and adventure sometimes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably the right answer. Space Mountain.
Space Mountain?
Yeah.
It's always a good one.
Although Haunted Mansion, I mean, it's sitting right there for us.
Well, yeah, Haunted Mansion, obviously. And I'm like, besides Haunted Mansion.
Scratch onto that. And
I mean, Scratch would just tell her about, like, oh, that guy, let me tell you about him. Oh, her? I got a story. That one owes me $5 still.
Yes, of course, of course. I love the Chens so much. I can't wait to see more of them. They're so much fun. I think it would have been so easy to just write a family that moves in and they're just the McGee's rivals and they happen to be ghost hunters. It's way more fun for it to be like, no, they're super nice.
Yes, they're great,
and they're ghost hunters.
And Chandler, that's exactly the path we went on. Our first pass at it was, they're just the antagonists who've come into town, and we're like, well, that's not nearly as fun as
It felt like it was going to run out of steam really fast.
Yeah, exactly. It's been done before, so how do you change that? How do you flip it on its head? I love how Daryl immediately becomes friends with June. June is great. I love June. I can't wait to see more of her.
June is a superstar.
Amazing.
As a token of our friendship, we McGees present the traditional Brighton turnip.
They smell like boiled toenails.
June, honey, remember what to say when we receive a gift?
Oh, right. Thank you for the gift. How kind of you to think of us. I'm autistic, and I guess not everyone can handle my unbridled truth.
Honesty is the best policy.
And you can give a hint of what the moment is. But some of my favorite stuff in the whole season. She's just so delightful.
And, of course, we have Ollie, who Molly kind of pretty much instantly develops a crush on him.
Yep.
And that's also going to be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to that because, of course, that's rife for conflict when they're ghost hunters.
Yeah, and the fans are going to love Ollie. The more you see of Ollie, the more charming he becomes. He's Alan Lee brings so much warmth to him. He's physically modeled. Justin Rodriguez modeled him after one of our writers, Paul Chang. So, Paul Chang, cool. He's out there swooping that hair back and charming anybody who's within 50 feet.
Okay, crazy idea. What if the bandshell weren't just for music?
Are you thinking a summer theater workshop camp for kids?
With a showcase of their original play finale?
Combined with an ice cream social to draw in the crowds? I love it!